Do you want to learn how to become a floral designer? Well, all you have to do is watch our Floral Designer for Beginners series starting right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to create a gorgeous floral centerpiece DIY for summer. I'm gonna give you step-by-step instructions, and I know that if I can do it, so can you. All you have to do is follow this video. A few weeks ago, I started a brand new series called Floral Design for Beginners because I used to be a florist for over 15 years, and I've learned so many tips, tricks, and hacks working in various floral shops, floral centers, and event centers, and now I want to pass along all of that information to you. So I'm going to continue this series to teach you guys how to create beautiful floral design, wreaths, centerpieces, and more. So if you want to become a floral designer, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video, share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp because it is free and it really helps this channel. All of the florals used in this video are from David Christopher, and you guys, they're offering you 10% off by using the code Ramon10 if you visit their website. I'm going to put all of the information down below so you can go check them out and take advantage of that 10%, especially with the hydrangeas. They are gorgeous. All right, so if you are ready, I'm going to get started with this beautiful floral centerpiece DIY for summer. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, to create a gorgeous, beautiful, and stunning floral bouquet, I'm going to tell you step by step what you need to do. Step number one is going to be to foam and prep our container. For this container, I chose this beautiful blue and white container I already had laying around the house. And what I do want to mention is that because I have a Lazy Susan that's made out of marble, what I like to do is put a little cloth on the bottom so that way I don't bang my container and shatter it, because I really love this one. And so once I put my foam in the middle, I also went ahead and put some newspaper so that way it's pretty tight in there, and you want to put that newspaper all the way around. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab some of this green moss and you're going to spread it all on the perimeter of the container and spread it out like this. This is the green moss that you can get at any local craft store, or actually I got mine at Walmart. If you've been following this channel, you know I do like some of the mechanics they have there at Walmart, and they are affordable, and this is something that you want to create to have a more finished look on your floral arrangements. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some ace pins, and I've already shown you this trick, but I'm going to do it one more time. So you grab yourself a 20 gauge wire, you cut it in half, then you grab that again, and then you cut it in half again, and that's going to give you 4 pins. So what you need to do is you grab your piece of wire, you bend it in half, you create kind of like a bobby pin, and you might want to do that on the corners just to kind of secure that foam and the moss so it stays together. So just grab that wire, bend it in half, and poke it through your foam to secure that reindeer moss. All right, so now that we have our container all greened and prepped, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna green this container, and for that, I'll be right back to give you step number 2. Keep watching. All right, step number 2 in creating a gorgeous floral bouquet centerpiece is going to be to green our container. So once we put the moss and the foam in it, what you wanna do is kind of go like this, press it down a little bit. And I like to start with a variety of greeneries, and remember what happens on the right happens on the left, and it doesn't matter whether you start on the right or the left, you always want to do that. And the easiest way to spin it about 80 degrees, and then you want to do this again like this, and then we're going to put one right here on the crown, and we're going to put one right here. And I have some boxwood. And you guys know that I like to use 3 to 4 types of greeneries when I'm making, whether it's a wreath or a centerpiece or anything that uses greenery, because the more greenery types that you mix together, the more natural it's going to look. So now I have this beautiful greenery that has this cute green flowers. So I'm gonna do one to my left, one on my right, and I just love the sound when that foam gets poked. I'm gonna spin it around one more time. I'm gonna go one right here, my right, my left, and then remember to put one on the crown. And this one right here on the crown, what's going to do is going to determine the height of our floral arrangement. So far, so good. Look how pretty this is looking. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this palm foliage, because the palm foliage is what's going to allow us to really cover some of these mechanics. And this is going to be like our supporting greenery. So one on my right. I'm gonna do a longer one right here on my left, right about here. Then I'm gonna spin around. I'm going to repeat right here. What happens on the right? Once, immediately go to the left, like this. And then remember to just give a little bit of a spin. Don't insert your foliage flat, because that's not going to give depth and dimension to your floral. But when you give it a little bit of a spin and you get to see the side, it is the prettiest, it is the more pleasing to the eye. And I just absolutely love the way this looks. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go around my perimeter and I'm gonna start making them go down. And the way you do that is you poke your foliage and then you kind of bend it down. And because you remember that what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So that way you have layers of foliage on your arrangement. I'm gonna add one right here on the top to my crown. Let's see, I'm gonna step away from it and I'm going to see where I might need one, and I'm gonna grab and make sure that it goes on that foam, and then once it goes on the foam, bend it down. All right, so far, this is a really good greening job, what we call in the industry. I absolutely love it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get step number 3, which is going to be our flowers, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so I'm back and I'm gonna do my accent flower, my focal flower. We have focal flower and accent flower, and this is going to be a blue and white with an accent of peach or orange, so that way it really pops from the blue and white. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here on the crown, and remember this is the height, and so we don't want it any taller than that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go right here to my left, and I'm going to go make sure they poke on the foam. I'm gonna spin around, and I feel like, yeah, this one's a little too tall, so don't be afraid to cut your florals. And remember, all of the florals we're using today are from David Christopher's. If you are in the search of some florals and other materials for your floral design, visit davidchristopher's.com. I'm gonna put their information down below so that you guys can go and visit them. They are our friends, and we are working with them to create some of these beautiful arrangements so that you can be inspired to create some beautiful arrangements. Remember that the information is going to be down below, so you guys can come and visit. All right, so now I have all of these hydrangeas going around, and the next flower I'm going to add is going to be some of these beautiful, oh my goodness, it escaped me. Delphinium. This is a beautiful delphinium. You know, there are so many flowers, sometimes I just blank. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here on the crown, and then I'm gonna work my way down like this. So 1, 2, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a spin. And so now I'm going to poke right here, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of a spin. I'm gonna poke one right here. I want it to be a little wide and airy. I don't want it to be so tight. I usually do tight arrangements, but this one I want it to be airy. So the way you do that is you kind of like a step ladder motion down. See how much air right here? And we're going to fill in some of that, but we want to make sure that we add our bouquet of flowers like this. And the important thing is to spin around. So you might want to look for a beautiful lacy Susan like this one. This one came from the at-home store. It was about $35, but you guys, it is an investment, and it really does come in handy. If you have your business, your floral business, if you do centerpieces or any arrangements, especially for the holiday season, then you might want to look into buying one. It doesn't have to be this fancy one. I just liked it because it was made out of marble and it blends in with my table. But they have some really affordable ones at, I've seen some of them at IKEA for under like $10. So you might want to look into that. All right, so that's all my delphinium I'm going to add. So now I have some of this beautiful blue accent flower that I'm gonna continue to add. And remember to, this is going to be a little bit of a step down from the other ones. You always have to make sure that you do that step ladder motion to have a beautiful bouquet of flowers. I'm gonna spin around because whatever happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. If you remember those rules, you too can create absolutely gorgeous floral arrangements, centerpieces, and all kinds of florals. So far, it's looking good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this beautiful accent flower. Here is a trick, you guys. This is how it came, but I had some extra foliage. And so to add extra foliage, what I like to do is just poke that stem through the foliage. So that gives me more of a flower. And this is going to also help us cover some of the mechanics. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here. And I just love the contrast of blue and white, and the more variety of white that I have on the flower, like this one is just going to accent the other flowers. It's going to serve as a highlighter, and it's going to really come in handy to create depth, texture, and just make sure that it does go on that foam. Remember to always, always, always spin around. So I'm going to add another one right here. I'll show you right here. And at this point it's getting tight, so I'm looking for that foam to make sure that I go on the foam and the flower doesn't come out. I'm gonna add this one right here. Look how pretty, you guys. This is something that I could stop right here, but I do have the accent color, which is going to be a beautiful peach flower. I'll go get that and I'll be right back to give you our last step in this beautiful centerpiece. Keep watching. You guys, before we continue with this beautiful summer centerpiece DIY, I want to remind you that there's going to be a whole playlist of other floral videos in the description box below. So that way you can continue your training on how to create beautiful floral arrangements. If you want to become a floral designer, or if you just want to create beautiful florals for your home, be sure to watch those videos so you can learn all of the tips and tricks. Let's get back to the video. All right, you guys, so I am back to give you the last step, and for that I'm going to cut some of these beautiful flowers, and I'm going to make sure that I cut the stem really long. And I just absolutely love the color on this flower. It is so beautiful. You know what, I'm going to actually cut them all at once. I love the combination of orange, yellow, listen to me, of orange, and actually blue and white and yellow also is a gorgeous combination. So don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and try something different. All right, so now with this one, because it has some foliage, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take that foliage out because there is already so much foliage and I just want the flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here. I'm going to start with this beautiful cabbage rose. Look how gorgeous that is, you guys. I'm going to do one up, then I'm going to come down and I'm going to do one low, so they look like that. And don't forget to give them some air, and also don't forget to take that foliage out. So I'm gonna start one right here on the crown, like that, tall, and then I'm going to come down, but now I'm going to add one of these beautiful daylilies. Look how pretty that is. So remember, what goes up must come down. So now I'm gonna spin it around, and I'm going to add another one of these beautiful roses. And I'm gonna go down right here, making sure that I go on that foam. Look how pretty. All right, so now I'm gonna add this lily right here. I'm gonna take her foliage out, and I'm gonna add this guy right about here. And then I'm going to add another one of these roses, and I'm gonna go down over on this side, like that. Making sure that goes on the foam. And I have space for one more right here. So on the side that I'm going to use the lily, I'm gonna add this guy right here, like so. Look how beautiful. And so now it also comes with this beautiful, kind of like a flyaway. You know, I'm always telling you it's not a Ramon at Home original unless it has some beautiful flyaways. And so for that, I'm going to use the ones that came with the flowers. And I do want to take that foliage out because also, you know why? The color is different. I'm also gonna use this other lily. So I'm gonna take that out and let's see. Yes, so I'm gonna use this guy right here and I'm gonna put all the way on the crown making sure that I poke. Look how pretty that is. It just adds so much texture. I'm gonna add one right here. Look at that. I'm gonna continue adding this beautiful flyaway, and I'll be right back to give you the end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so this is the end result, and look how absolutely gorgeous is this beautiful combination of blue, white, and a punch of orange. This is absolutely gorgeous for a waiting, for your living room, for an entryway table. I love the classic blue and white container and these gorgeous David Christopher's florals, you guys. Don't forget to visit if you are looking for something similar. I just absolutely love the way this turned out. I really hope that you learned something. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, and then also share with your friends so they too can come and join this beautiful floral bouquet DIY. So what do you guys think? Wasn't that so much fun? I had a blast sharing with you all of these tips and tricks on how to create a floral centerpiece for summer. If you follow these tips, you too can create a gorgeous centerpiece. Now, if you are trying to become a floral designer, be sure to turn the notification bell on, because I will be sharing all of the ideas, tips, and hacks, and all of the information that I gather working in the industry for over 15 years. Flower shops, design centers, event centers, and now I want to pass along all of that to you. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on, because you will not want to miss this Floral Design for Beginners series. I know you will be dazzled. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing. And as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.